you mentioned like strategic partners and then smaller partners which are like super customer centric, kind of maybe like a longer term, benefit. How do you prioritize them? How do you divide them?
It's super important, right? We have over 800 certified apps in our marketplace, for example, and we have hundreds, if not thousands, that are through that kind of application process that quite a small team are looking after. So we've been through a process of effectively implementing a partner program where at the early stages of that program, it's fairly self-serve in terms of the model. So once you're on board, most of the tools and most of the resources are on things like Xero.com and sort of partner dashboards and things like that. And then as you kind of move up and become, and it's primarily driven by what we call connections or mutual customers. So if we've got a partner that is working with tens of thousands of Xero customers, then they rightfully, have more questions, more queries, and more time to engage with us. If it's an app partner that's early in the journey, then obviously we can't be sitting down with 800 plus app partners every week and helping grow their business. So we have a program where we're always trying to add value at every stage, but it becomes a little more hands-on the later in the program you are.
Talking about scale, you have like really amazing event, Xerocon. Tell us about a few words about it, and do you run also like small events as well?
Yeah, we do both. So Xerocon is our flagship event that we run annually in 3 of our core markets, so the UK, Australia, and the US. And they're a lot of fun. So we run a 2-day event. It's for our accounting and bookkeeping community. So we had over 3,000 attend our London event in November. A big part of the event are our app partners that come along and they exhibit. And so we had 75, I think, this year that sort of set up on the exhibitor floor. And it's a 2-day paid-for event, and the accountants are seeing a mix of keynotes from Xero, where they're learning about new product and innovation in the industry, hearing from wonderful industry speakers, and then engaging with that app's ecosystem as well, and sharing their details to start using those tools. And actually, that's where a lot of the value that we spoke about earlier is created by connecting our technology and our app partners with our accounting partners and helping kind of cultivate growth there. So that's the big event, which takes a big chunk of the year for many people at Xero to put together. And then we do things like road shows and kind of ad hoc events as well. So it's a big part of what we get up to as well.
Great. So what is your most rewarding and then also on the flip side, the most challenging part of your job?
Yeah, sure. So there's lots of rewarding things about working in partnerships at Xero. I would say one of them is just meeting all these incredibly smart people that are building really interesting businesses and meeting them really early in the journey. So I get to deal with a lot of people that are smarter than me that are building great things, and I get to learn a lot. So that's a lot of fun, and supporting them through their desire to partner with us. And then the other thing I really love is those kind of handful of partnerships that just kind of click and work and really, really scale. And we talked about Iwaka earlier. We've got some in the payment space, so partners like GoCardless and Stripe, and recently TransferWise, where we've built kind of deeply integrated products. I get to work with our great product team, our great engineers, legal, all this sort of stuff. And actually then at events like Xerocon, present these brand new products that are actually built with partners that our customers love to use and help, make their lives easier. That's probably the most rewarding thing is sort of that long journey you go on, and then getting to show things at events like Xerocon. And then I guess you asked the challenging stuff as well. There's obviously a handful of things around that. I think one of the big challenges that we have is that, there are businesses I'd love to spend more time with, and we don't have the bandwidth to do that, or it's not right for us to be kind of spending a certain amount of time with those businesses. So I think that's one of the challenges is having someone that's really eager to engage, but for a number of different reasons, we can only give them so much. I think that's always a real challenge. And then I think ultimately the big challenge for us is how do we get to sort of the absolute vanguard of kind of a partnership and ecosystem-led business. And we've done really well to get to where we are, but there's lots of kind of technical challenges and lots of growth challenges we have along the way to get to where we really want to get to, where the likes of the Apples of the world are. So there's some of the challenges that we face day in, day out.
So you have an incredible experience in partnerships, and there are a lot of new people coming into partnerships roles, right? What is your one or two advice? Is that what is your kind of insights that you learned over the last couple of years?
Yeah, we spoke earlier about it's a growing job, I guess, or a growing opportunity, career opportunity, which I must admit, when I was doing my degree, 15 years ago, I didn't think about partnerships as a thing. I didn't know that was a role in technology businesses, and over the last 4 or 5 years, I've loved doing it at Xero. If I advise for myself when I started this job, I think it would be a couple of things. One is really get to understand and know your business inside and out, and the important people and decision makers within your own business.
Right.
And what I mean by that is the really successful partnerships we have at Xero need the buy-in and support of our product leaders if we're going to build something. The legal team and understanding what's important to them and the boundaries they have. Really get to know your go-to-market folks, your sales leaders, your marketing leaders, because they're ultimately going to help you take what you're building with partners and get it into the hands of your customers and the channel. And you really can't do that unless you understand what they're trying to achieve and sort of the nuance of your business objectives. Right. So that would be one piece of advice I would certainly have. I think the second is make sure you enjoy and have an interest in it. Otherwise, there are plenty of other easier jobs to go and do that just sort of pay the wage. But if you have a true passion in working with other businesses and building things, then partnership should be something you should explore further.
In order to generate this kind of buy-in inside your business, and then on the partner side, you need to generate something like excitement and engagement on both sides. Yep. How do you do that?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I think it certainly starts with what are the objectives for me? It's what are the objectives of Xero, and one of our big objectives, if you read our annual report, is we have been adding new small business subscriptions and revenue at a really fast rate year on year. But our shareholders are really looking to things like partnerships and ecosystem and financial services, and they see a big opportunity for us to bring those services to our customers. And for us to do that, we need to be effective in what we do in partnerships. And so that's wonderful for me because we've got the direction from our leadership team and our board. And so taking that kind of overarching company objective and then bringing that into the areas of the business where you're trying to build buy-in, and then trying to marry that up with what their personal objectives are. So if I can go to our sales leaders and say, look, I've got these partnership opportunities that are really going to help you sell more Xero subscriptions, and this is how we're going to do it. They're obviously going to get fired up about that and excited about that. Or if I can go to our marketing leaders and say, look, I've got these incredibly interesting opportunities and these stories to tell through these partnerships, they're obviously going to be interested in telling those stories. So it's a bit of a mix of those things. But I think ultimately, if you can find a way to bring partnerships into the objectives and the drivers of those business leaders and make their lives easier, because everyone kind of wants their job to be a bit easier, that's been quite effective for us in the past. Right.
So what makes you excited about building this partnership, and what is the next frontier for you for 2020?
Yeah, so I think we're really the tip of the iceberg at Xero, particularly around some of the financial services that our customers need to use. So payments was a really big category for us in 2019. So we announced building a bill payment product here in the UK, so you could pay your bills from within Xero, and we're doing that with TransferWise and really expanding some of our invoice payment products, so the ability to get paid via Stripe and GoCardless on our invoice product. What I'm really excited about in 2020 is kind of launching that first product in market to our customers and doing much more product work on the others, and just seeing the impact that's having on our customers' cash flow. Helping them get paid faster, helping the UK small business economy grow. And with over 500,000 small businesses in our platform, we're having a very real impact on the broader economy and productivity. And so I'm super excited to see just the natural growth and organic growth of that. So that's kind of what's getting me out of bed in the morning at the moment.
Right, that's fantastic. Look, we are looking forward to follow up on this interview, and looking forward to see you grow and Xero grow on UK market and globally. Yep. And thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me, Roman. Really appreciate it. Cheers.
Cheers.